It's a little different, coaches on the other side, very familiar with Syracuse and things like that, Coach Lester, especially for you. What do you expect? How different do you expect that to sort of be when you see on the other side, you see as a coach that you know?
At the end of the day, he's going to be doing his job. I'm going to be doing my job. I got the utmost respect for Coach Lester, Coach Dallas, all those guys over there. They're the reason I'm here, and I'm very grateful for them. But at the end of the day, he recruited me. He knows how competitive I am, and I know how competitive he is. So it's going to be a fun game.
Have you talked to Coach Lester at all in the last few weeks just leading up to this?
No, that's an NCAA violation.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Dino kind of talked about this being a business trip and kind of subtly reflected on the Middle Tennessee State game last year. Do you kind of learn anything from your mentality going into a game like that? Obviously, like the guys talked to Shea beforehand, there were some cool moments. Is that something you maybe try and avoid this time around, or is that not really relevant?
Like Coach Baby said, it's a business trip. You got to go down and get focused. You can't let emotions get the best of it. After the game, you can go and talk to them, whatever, all that. But you're going down there for a goal and to accomplish something. So that's the main thing.
Do you feel like that was really an issue last year with Middle Tennessee State?
Personally, I didn't feel it affected me, but for other guys it might have. And Coach is saying about insanity, doing the same thing twice, expecting a different result. So you really know, Coach is all about winning. So
How different is it? You mentioned going out there. The first road game, obviously, starting on the road. How different is that? How does that change preparation? And it also being a Friday.
It's very different. Usually we open up at home in the dome, but for the young guys, they're gonna have to grow up fast. College football and playing on the game, it's a whole nother world. So they're gonna have to grow up fast, especially on the road. Kalamazoo, they got some loyal fans down there. I'm sure it'll be packed. It's their first season. They've had 3 winning seasons, so they're gonna be coming in full force.
Hey, Tunji.
How are you? Okay. How do you? Does the team plan to feed off of the adversity of playing, like he said, that first game on the road in front of what I'm sure is going to be a hostile crowd at Western Michigan?
We just got to lock in. The veterans on the team are going to have to really bring the young guys up, and the young guys are going to have to grow up fast. The young guys, like I said, they're going to have to grow fast. That's going to be the big thing because they're going to have a big impact on this team. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing how they handle the adversity. And you're not going to get all the calls. It's going to be loud when you don't want it to be. So it's going to be a lot different. But you got to win.
What was it like seeing Dino get playing with this guy?
It's awesome. KK. He's been here with me since freshman year, so he's just worked his tail off ever since. So it's awesome to see him get that, and he really deserves it.
What do you think of the delivery in the air?
I was a little confused on it. I had no idea. Honestly. I was like, Climber getting in trouble, and then he kind of switched it up. But I'm just excited for him. It's an awesome moment for him and his family.
What is some of the advice you are giving those young guys about playing on the road, just in general, in terms of the environment? You mentioned getting calls. What is some of that advice you'd be giving?
Personally, it's just don't let the moment get too big. At the end of the day, you're still on the football field. There's going to be TV cameras there and all that, but at the end of the day, you just got to do your job. Don't try to do too much. Just do your job, stay focused, and if that happens, then we'll be successful.
Very excited to be named the starter.
Yeah. So.
Any other questions for Eric?
What have you seen from the West Michigan defense that the challenges that those will present for you?
It's tough. You're kind of chasing ghosts at this point. They could run a multiple variation of multiple different defenses, so it's gonna be tough at first to see what they're gonna do. But once we get a feel for it, the coaches will make their adjustments. But as of right now, we can really think they're running 3 or 4 different defenses. So at this point, we're kind of playbook's very large, and we'll go from there.
Does that make the first game kind of the most difficult, where you don't know the exact, what they'll be doing with the personnel they have this year?
I would say the first game is the most difficult because you can watch film and study, but at the end of the day, they got different personnel. We don't really know who's playing yet. I'm on their side, so we'll see what's going on.
What does the offense have to do to help the defense so they don't have to continue to get on the field and play multiple possessions?
Get the first down. That's always the biggest thing. Once we get that first down and get it rolling, it's tough to stop. I think that's going to be crucial for us, and just score points and be effective in the red zone. The defense does a great job, and we got to pay them back. And if we're going 3 and out, it's not fair for them. So we got to do our job. The first down, get the ball moving, and tire out that defense.
Last question.
You mentioned the anxiousness a little bit before that, but for you, obviously, it's been your first game in several months now.
Yeah.
Kind of what does that change a little bit? Does the antsiness of it, when you start getting music, the actual pregame routine, and all that starts?
Yeah, I got the same butterflies ever since I was in youth. it's great. And then once you run out on the field, the first play, they go away. But, I've had the same anxiousness ever since, and it's kind of what makes the game so awesome and so great. But once that first play happens, you kind of settle in and then you get going.
Thank you.
What are the keys to defending the outside run? Just kind of generally.
Yeah, outside runs. So, just kind of knowing your responsibility. With outside runs, the gap schemes kind of get a little jacked up. So, as a linebacker, just, having patient footwork, being able to see the gaps as they open up, and just when you see it, you got to go hit it. So, I would say just playing patient at first, but then, once you see that open gap, you really got to hit it.
Ready to go down.
Yeah, exactly.
How different is it, starting the first game on the road and having to travel, and then obviously it being a Friday too? Kind of how does that change the a different experience?
So a road game is definitely a little bit different environment. It's especially different for the young guys, I would say, because they've never had that college football experience. It's kind of you have to instill in their mind that this is a business trip and we're going here for one mission and one mission only, that's to beat Western Michigan. So as long as we can go in, focus on the task at hand, we'll do a good job. But like you said, there's a lot that goes into just with the flight and staying in the hotel and different stuff like that. So we just got to make sure everybody's locked in on beating Western Michigan.
Coach mentioned that business trip thing too. Obviously, last year with Scott Schaefer, hear a lot of talking, before the game with him. How differently do you feel like you have to approach this one? Obviously, with some of those coaches that are here or on the other side now.
Yeah, a lot of those coaches I was coached by, I had good relationships with, and I really respect those guys and appreciate everything that they did for me bringing me here to Syracuse. But at the same time, like I said, this is a business, and people come and go, and I'm a Syracuse University athlete, football player, and I want to beat Western Michigan on Friday. So, I love those guys, appreciate everything they did for me, but at the end of the day, I want to beat them.
Do you think that the mentality is going to be a little different? Like last year, just like Darius said, you guys were out kind of talking to coach beforehand. Is it going to be different this time where there's maybe a different logic where you're not going to be communicating with them beforehand and maybe save that stuff for after?
Yeah, it's all love for those guys. We appreciate them, just like I was saying. We're just focused on getting out there, winning the game. So pre-game, everybody's got to be locked in, focused on their assignment, focused on doing their job, winning the game. But, afterwards, we'll definitely, have some words with those guys and, just, appreciate them for what they did for us.
The depth chart comes out, and now, you're over at the strong side, and you're over at the weak side. How do you feel like the fluidity of the defense is sort of about when, obviously, preseason you guys with that different look, and now coming out obviously a different approach?
Yeah, so I haven't the depth chart, honestly. But,
I'll just say, it's a different setup than what it was, where now you're at the strong side, obviously. So I guess how do you feel like the versatility of the defense that you might have? How do you feel like that'll help you this game, future games?
Yeah, we've definitely got a lot of guys that understand multiple different positions. So Andrew does a great job for us in several different positions. I feel like I can be versatile and play a couple positions. Same thing with Cordy. So, as opponents come up, they have their strengths and their weaknesses. So depending on what we need to do a certain week, we'll, adjust our defense and put the guys in the right position to make plays.
How do you guys plan on silencing that Western Michigan crowd early and giving the offense as many chances to make plays as they can?
Yeah, this year we've been focused on, causing a lot of turnovers, getting the ball back in our offensive hand, giving them chances to make plays. It's just important to not let them stick around in the game early. We're going to come out just like any other game and be full throttle all the way in, all the time.
Is there anything different you guys have done in practice to try and generate more turnovers, or is it more a matter of you can kind of read and react now that you know?
We definitely focus on turnover circuits and things like that, just different situations where you would be in the right situation to cause a turnover.
Sure.
So the coaches kind of break that down into drills, and we practice those things over and over and over again. So how we try to make those plays.
Did you do those last year too?
We've done similar ones, but I feel like we've really put a big emphasis on it. All the guys know the expectations. I feel like we've done a better job this year with carrying that over into when we do team drills and things like that.
How beneficial has it been going up against someone like Eric Dungy every day in practice for this defense?
Eric's a great player. You guys see what he does on Saturdays. I just feel like he definitely makes it extremely hard on us, gives us one of the hardest looks we'll see all season. And, if you're competing against a guy like that at such a high level every day, it definitely just ups your play. And I feel like, playing an outside linebacker position, having to cover tough routes, and being able to put balls in great spots and having to try to defend that, it's really helped me in my development.
Eric talked just about the butterflies and just the anxiousness that he feels right before the game. How do you feel before your first game of the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely nervousness, anxiousness, just ready to get that first hit, that first play out of the way. But, you know, once that first snap happens, then it's kind of just you get into the flow of the game and you're ready to roll.
What was it like seeing Kleinberg get the scholarship like that?
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, Kyle from day one has come in and been an extremely hard worker. I mean, you know, you talk about those guys in practice that, you know, when you run into them, like it's going to be a big collision. And Kleinberg's definitely one of those guys. He brings it every day, and I'm just super happy for him. I mean, he definitely is really deserving, and I know he's going to keep doing great things for the university.
Talk about just the dynamic of going on the road in week one. I mean, that's not something this program is used to. It's not something that really Power 5 teams are used to doing, going to mid-major teams. So, I mean, what are you expecting in that kind of environment?
I mean, I'm expecting it to be very hostile. I know Western Michigan's got a huge fan base as they've grown as a team, and I'm excited for it. You got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So that's just a part of the game of college football, and we'll see how it turns out. Without a doubt, I know it's going to be a tough environment to play in, and it's just going to be the same as any other team. And I'm sure how they felt about coming to the Dome. Not friendly, but you got to work through it.
What advice do you give to some of the younger players? You know, obviously a lot of freshmen potentially without this team this season. Their first game is on the road in that sense. What sort of advice do you give them to prepare and you know, for the challenges?
The first thought that comes to mind is thinking about my first game as a freshman. And I went out there thinking that it was so much bigger and so much better and so much different. At the end of the day, not much changes. Football is football. Everywhere you go, high school, all the way up to the pros. You've been doing this thing the same way that you've been doing it before. Football, it is what it is. Stick to what you know and keep working.
What's the vibe and the energy been like in the locker room leading up to this first road game on a Friday night, you know, on the road on a nationally televised game?
Without a doubt, I'm excited. And I think that goes for a lot of the rest of my teammates too. Like you guys said, being on the road for the first game isn't the usual for us, but it just makes it that more exciting. Like get out there, go to somebody else's house, and see if we can show out. It's a major opportunity for us to really, like I said earlier, set the table on who we are as a team this year.
What's the exciting level? Just the fact that it's actually a game week, and then a couple days you'll actually be playing under the lights, and it's actually the 2018 season is actually here.
I mean, as soon as you started asking the question, you saw me start smiling, so that kind of goes to show the excitement level right there. I know a lot of guys on the team are tired of beating up on each other, right? We want to take it out on somebody else. So we're all ready. We're all hyped up and energized and ready to take flight on Thursday and get out there.
Their preference playing on a Friday night as opposed to a Saturday? Because I mean, you guys are no stranger to playing on Friday nights, but what is the challenge there playing on a Friday night rather than a Saturday?
The challenge is that it bumps the week up. Everything's got to happen a little bit more faster, and you got to have a little bit more attention to detail with everything being pushed up a day or two. How do I feel about it personally? I don't care. Game day is game day. Whichever day they tell me I got to play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever. Let's go do it.
What was it like